Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with another story time, and I know it's been like quite some time since I told you all a story, but I figured I wanted to just because I've kind of noticed a little spike in my Dubai video, and if you all want to check it out, feel free to check it out. But before we get into the video, I am going to tell you a few things about the Dubai video. I've had a lot of angry little people that are just so upset that I turned off the comments to the Dubai video. Guys, those comments were on for 2 years. Once it hit past the 2-year mark, I turned it off because at that point, your comments are irrelevant. It's irrelevant to tell me what you all would have did differently or what I should have did differently 2-3 years ago. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? The story was told for either entertainment purposes on your end or as a learning experience, you know what I mean? Like, so you can learn from my experience basically. And so that's why I told the story. I understand if you wouldn't do that, but like it's a story, it happened, I'm fine. This was years ago. So like I said, don't comment under here about the Dubai video. I'm just gonna delete it because like I said, it's cool for you all to have an opinion, but I think after so many years it's like, what's the point of telling me it? You know what I mean? So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into the video. Okay, so as you see from the title, this is about me getting flown out to Paris. I know you all are probably thinking, oh, you didn't learn your lesson from Dubai. Well, just so you know, this happened in 2017 and I went to Dubai in 2019. So part of the reason of me even agreeing to something crazy like Dubai was because Paris did not go bad. Like it wasn't a huge issue or anything while we were in Paris. So that was that. But there are some interesting things that happened while we were in Paris. So I'm gonna start with how I even was able to get flown out to Paris. So basically, one day I get a phone call from my then friend at the time. So me and her, we weren't really close. We didn't text a lot, call each other a lot. She would literally only hit me up when it was time to go out. Only. And that was fine with me because she was Nigerian, so she would always hang out with African men and they would always take care of everything, you know. So like it was cool going out with her because I always knew like it's a free night out, you know, I'm never gonna have to spend any money. And I think part of her reasoning for inviting me out is because I'm thicker, and I guess, you know, that's what African men are attracted to. Either that, I think that's what she told me. It was either that or sometimes her friends would be busy and I was the leftover. Well, I don't know. But regardless, I still had fun with her. She was still cool. So she called me up one day and she was like, hey girl, like, you know, you want to go to Paris? And I was like, I want to go to Paris. Like, why? Like, what do you mean? Like, how can we go to Paris? And during that time, I think me and my best friend at the time, we had already bought our tickets to go to Mexico, a cruise to Mexico for spring break. So I'm like, girl, I don't have no money to be trying to figure out how to go to Paris or whatever. She was like, no, everything is paid for. Everything's gonna be paid for. Just bring your ass, basically. And I'm like, okay. So she was like, do you have a passport? I was like, no, I don't have a passport. And she was like, well, we're gonna be leaving in like, I think it was like 3 weeks. We're gonna be leaving in like 3 weeks. So go get your passport now. And then she told me I can bring my best friend. So she also asked another girl who was her friend. So it was gonna be 4 of us going. So the thing with that is, I feel like, I don't know why she didn't invite her immediate friends, or if she did invite her immediate friends and they just weren't able to come or they weren't willing to get a passport. I was confused why it was me she invited, but hello, free trip to Paris, like I'm not passing that up. So like that's what me and my best friend did. They actually bought the ticket, if I'm not mistaken, it was the next day they bought the ticket, and I'll screenshot the ticket and put it right here because I still have it, and you all can see how much they paid for this ticket. So they got 4 of them, so that's how much. And by the way, there was 2 guys, which I thought originally it was 1 guy who paid for all of our stuff, but it was 2 guys. So yeah, I guess I don't know how they worked that out, if they split it or whatever. But once they bought our ticket, that was great, because in order to get an expedited passport, fun fact, you have to show them that you are traveling within 14 days. And once you do that, you're able to get your passport expedited, paying like, I think we paid like $200 something, like no more than $220, $230, I don't think. And I'll tell you that process. So basically, we went to this place and we were in line all day. We were waiting all day, like a take a number type of situation. And yeah, like when we finally get called up, like they were like, no, you're not supposed to go here. You go to the expedited passport office. So that's what we had to do. We went in on a Friday, we gave them our stuff, and then on Monday we got our passports and we were all set to go. So we were super excited. So I think when we went was March 31st, 2017. So we got all our stuff ready. I think like the night of March 31st, we went over to her house and we had shots, and we had a late flight. So this was like, we could go about our normal day because we knew we were gonna go to sleep on the flight. So yeah, we got to the airport or whatever, got on the flight. The flight was very nice. We flew Air France, and you know, of course they provided meals and pillows and little toiletry bags, almost like with sleeping mask and earphones and stuff in it. So that was cool. It was crazy though, like the first hour of us being on the flight, the turbulence was insane. I was literally looking at my friend like, bitch, we're finna die. Like, this is really how I'm about to go out. Like, this is crazy. But we made it through. And the girl who took us, she slept through the whole thing. But we went to sleep, and by the time we woke up in the morning, I think we were about an hour or two away from Paris. And yeah, we landed in Paris. We went through customs and all that stuff. And then when we got there, so this was not the guy that flew her out who came to pick us up. It was his friend. That was the other one who paid for the other stuff. So it was like his friend and another guy. I think it was either one or two guys. Or three. I think it was either him and another guy, or him and two other guys. So they came and picked us up. It was like in this nice little van.
Gucci, Fendi, Hermes, Prada.
Burberry.
I look like a hot ass mess, but when I tell y'all that fucking turbulence on that goddamn plane, he almost fucking died.
Senegal, Congo.
Or whatever, and took us off to our hotel. So the hotel that we stayed in was Radisson Blu, and I'm definitely gonna attach some little clips and stuff from when I was there.
Guys, we got our own rooms. It's so lit. Oh, look at my bathroom. Y'all, they got the champagne popping and shit. Oh my god. Oh yes, bitch.
We stayed in the Radisson Blu hotel. That was I think it was on Champs-Élysées or near Champs-Élysées, and we could see the Arc de Triomphe. So that's where we stayed. It was very nice. When we got there, we noticed that they got us 4 rooms. It was 4 of us. They got us 4 rooms, and we was like, they got money. Like, what? Like 4 rooms? Like, first of all, we didn't need all of our own rooms. Like, we definitely didn't, because my best friend slept in my room a couple of the nights. So, and we were only there for three days. So yeah, we didn't need that. But like I said, we just figured, okay, they had money. Keep that in mind. So anyway, that day, I think by the time we got to Paris, if I'm not mistaken, it was like around the morning time. So we were able to go into our rooms and freshen up and get ready and enjoy our first day. So our first day out, I don't think the guy that, you know, my friend was talking to, I don't think he was there yet. So we ended up hanging out with the guys that picked us up from the airport. And so basically, and I can't fully remember the timeline, but I do have pictures of it, and I do remember what we were doing. But I do remember us, like, we went outside, we were taking pictures, and I remember walking around and seeing like just kind of how like the French people looked at us. I didn't like, but I know that there's black people in France, in Paris, so I don't think it was a black thing. I don't know if it was just a thing like they knew we were American or what, but yeah, they were kind of just looking at us. But yeah, I think that day we ended up going to one of their apartments. So by the way, 3 of them lived in Paris, and one of them, the guy who organized this trip, he lived in Chicago. And I guess at one point he lived in Paris, which is why all his friends were in Paris. But so we went to like their apartment or whatever.
We're going if you can stay young. Yeah. You don't want to get up anymore. She's sorry.
You know, just chatted up and stuff. And we were telling them the stuff we wanted to do, and they're like, "Oh, that's tourist stuff. You know, we don't want to do no tourist stuff." And I'm like, "Skirt, I didn't come all the way to Paris to not see the Eiffel Tower. Now we're going to the Eiffel Tower, whether y'all come or not. Like that's where I'm going." So, that was not the day that we went to the Eiffel Tower, but like I said, we went to their room, and then I think after that they ended up taking us to this African restaurant. So they paid for that. We ate our African food, and then I think we ended up going off like by ourselves at that point. I don't think they were with us, and I think we walked around Paris. Yeah, I'm actually kind of starting to remember. We walked around Paris. I think they were with us at one point. So I think until a point they were with us, because I remember us going to like this little restaurant, but we didn't eat. We ended up just having drinks. And then like I said, I remember breaking off from them, and I was like pressed to get a crepe because I was like, I'm in Paris, I want to eat a crepe. And so we went, me and my best friend went there. I don't really remember where everybody else was. I just remember me and my best friend being there, getting a crepe. And then I was like, I'm like confused kind of by the timeline just a little, because of like when I look at the pictures, the outfits I have, I remember the outfits I was wearing when I was doing certain things. So ignore me if I'm confused, but that was basically what happened the first day. We did a little sightseeing, we ate some food, and then that was that. Later on that night, we were in our hotel room. I ordered some room service. We had this bomb bathtub, and I took a bath and watched some Netflix, and that was it. The next day comes around, and I think this is our fun day, if I'm not mistaken. So this is the day where we end up going out. So during the day, we were not with the guys. I think we were with them for a second, and that's when the guy who organized the trip showed up. He was much older. He was not like old, but he was definitely older than us. But I think he couldn't have been no more than in his 30s or so, or whatever. And so, like I said, we went to like a few like shops. We were like going to go look at clothes and stuff, and then we ended up going to the Eiffel Tower. So yeah, we went there and we took our pictures.
I'm not going up there. Oh, it's so beautiful.
That was cool. And then when you get up from the Eiffel Tower, there's like these little like boys outside like selling like keychains and little like Paris type souvenirs. And so I think I got a keychain, but I lost that keychain. I think it like broke off from the keychain part, and I just lost it. So we did that, and then we went to the restaurant, just us girls. We went to the restaurant, and I don't know what we got, but I remember them saying that they don't have ranch, and that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think when we tried to give them the tip, I think it was like rude to give them a tip, like, or that people just don't tip in Paris, so that's not a thing. But I will say that like the waiters and stuff, they were kind of rude. They weren't very attentive, and I don't know if it was just like, okay, well, we can't speak English and we're not even about to try to deal with these Americans, or what, but that's just how it kind of was. It was a lot of like trying to get like people to understand us. But like I said, that day we did some shopping or whatever. Me and my best friend and the other girl, we ended up going off by ourselves at one point because the girl who took us, she wanted to stay back with the guy that she was talking to. And so yeah, we were just like, okay, we still want to see Paris. So that's what we ended up doing. I got like a cute jacket, which I still have, but I can't fit it. It was from a place called like Bershka, or it was something like that. So then that night was we were going out, and we went out to this club. So the club was just like any other American club. Like, it was a lot of black people there. They were playing a lot of like Afro beats, and we had a section, we had bottles. Like I said, I'll insert some clips. We had bottles, like it was lit or whatever. During this time, my friend was suspecting, like the friend who took us, she was suspecting that the guy that organized the trip, that he had a wife, because whenever she would visit him in Chicago, he would like never let her stay in his apartment. He would always put her up in a hotel. And then come to find out that day, we find out he does have a wife. And so at that point, she kind of started talking to his friend, and I was just like, oh, this is messy. But she kind of started talking to his friend. So like while we were there, she was while we were at the club that night, she was like dancing on his friend. And I think we were all kind of like, there was one guy trying to talk to me, one guy trying to talk to my best friend, and the other girl, I don't think anybody was talking to her, but that's because she just made it very clear, I have a boyfriend, like back off. So yeah, me and my best friend were not attracted to these guys at all. We just thought they were cool, but yeah, they were definitely on some like, we each get one type deal. And that's when we were kind of like, is that why they got 4 rooms? Because it's 4 of them, and like just in case something happened, y'all all got your little private room. That's what we assumed happened. And so like I said, we got drunk that night, and I mean, we was out all night. We were out until like, I think maybe 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And so then we go back to the hotel after. So mind you, my best friend is extremely drunk. I'm drunk, but I'm not drunk like her. And so she says, oh, like, Deanna, I don't want to sleep in my room by myself tonight. Can I sleep in your room? I was like, yeah. And regardless, we were going to be in the same room because I was going to take care of her because, you know, she was drunk. When we were doing that, everybody basically came back into my room, and the guy that was trying to talk to her, he was so adamant on like trying to like get with her. And I'm like, she is drunk. If you like, you're about to piss me off, like back the fuck up. Like, she's drunk, like what the hell? And he's like, no, I just want to talk to her. I was like, she literally just threw up. Why are you trying to talk to her? Like, why are you trying to like niggas just be pushy? Like, it's ridiculous how pressed guys are for like sex. Like, she's throwing up in the toilet and you still want to have sex with her. And after eventually, like, I got him out of the room, because like I said, I was getting upset. Like, I was getting like hyped, like back up. Because like, I don't play by my friends now. I don't play by my friends. Don't be doing no weird shit. Back the fuck up. And so he ended up leaving the room. He semi got the hint. And then like me, the other girl, and my best friend, we're all sitting in the room. My best friend is basically passed out drunk at this point, and me and the other girl are sitting up talking. The girl who took us, by the way, she's off with, I think, the other guy. Like, I don't think she was with the guy that brought us there. I think she was with the other guy who helped pay for the trip too. So while me and her other friend was in the room, we hear knocking at the door. And mind you, it's like 7 a.m. knocking at the door. And we look out the keyhole, and it's the guy that's trying to talk to me. And he's like just knocking, like you know, it's like on some shit, like if y'all are asleep, I'm gonna wake you up because like I wanna, like I'm pretty sure, of course it was like sex, or he was trying, like I don't know what he was trying to do, but I'm pretty sure he was trying to have sex. And it's like I didn't understand why they had this whole like idea that this was gonna happen, because first of all, because I know how y'all like to say under the Dubai video, like, what did you expect? Well, bitch, I didn't expect to have to do anything if we came there for business. Like, damn, I gotta marry you and have sex with you? Come on now. Like, no, that's not the life I was trying to live. But anyway, with this situation, the two guys that were so adamant on trying to get some pussy didn't buy shit. Like, they were like along for the ride. Like, I don't think they put in really on anything. I think it was their two friends who were buying the bottles, buying the food. Like, I don't even think they did anything. So it's just like, it was crazy to me, like how adamant they were, and y'all didn't even fucking do anything. Like, so anyway, he keeps knocking on the door, and me and the girl, we're kind of looking out the keyhole, and he's like going like this. This nigga is pressed. Calm down, baby. And I'm telling you, he had to have been standing at that door for about 10 minutes, just knocking, and I'm like, okay, you're too much. You're weird now. Like, we're not fucking with you no more, because now you're weird. Like, you need to relax. Eventually, he does end up going home. We end up going to sleep, or whatever, and we wake up the next morning, we have breakfast. So mind you, with breakfast was just like a regular type of breakfast, but if you wanted to add like eggs and bacon, that was an extra cost. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in the back of your head. So we had our breakfast that morning, our bacon and eggs and all that stuff, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this is maybe the day that we kind of went shopping too. I'm telling y'all, this is like blurry, but I'm trying to give y'all the main facts because I don't want this to be a super long video. It's already at 20. But yeah, I think that was our last day there, and that was just kind of on some chill stuff. Later on during the day, me, my best friend, and her friend, I mean, you know, the girl who brought us, her friend, we all went out to Champs-Élysées to walk around. I don't know where the girl who took us was. I don't know where she was, but I don't remember. But and mind you, we weren't fond of like her going by herself either. Like, she was like insisting because she knew this man, but then it changed from like that guy to like a new guy that she really didn't know. But that's not like, we were like, no girl, like, we don't want you to go. But she was just like so insisting on going because she was staying in the hotel room. Like, so at least that's what we thought. Like, you know, she was in her hotel room. But anyway, so we went to Champs-Élysées and we went to like just walk around, you know, see all the fancy stores, and we saw a Five Guys, and we were just like, oh my god, let's go to Five Guys. We went to Five Guys. It was huge. It was like 2 stories, and it was interesting because they would give us a cup, and the cup has a barcode underneath it. And if you sit it on the Coca-Cola Freestyle machine, if you lift it up, you cannot use the cup again. And I think they do that so you can't get refills. So you have to get a whole nother cup. I guess you have to buy a whole nother drink. I did it before I even put my drink in there, and then they like just gave me another cup because, like I said, the cup had already recognized that it was on there, and they didn't want to give me no more drink. So that was that. We like ate our food, and I think like as we were walking out, we see this beautiful, light-skinned, tall, fine-ass Parisian, and like he was just like, it was like he could speak English, like the majority. I keep saying like, let me chill. So we saw him, and he was one of the few people that could speak English. The majority of the people there cannot speak English. So like I said, he could speak English, and he was like asking like what were we doing that night, and we're like, oh, we don't know, it's our last night, you know, like we might just chill. And he was saying like, you know, well, who has WhatsApp? I had WhatsApp, they didn't have WhatsApp. And I was like, oh, okay, I have WhatsApp. He was like, okay, just like hit me up later, you know, see what you're doing. And I think, mind you, I think it was maybe about, it was dark, so I think it was only maybe about 7 or 8 or so. But once we got back to the room, I genuinely don't remember if we did anything or not. I know we didn't go out because I know it was only one club night that we had. But like I said, we went back into the room, and we were like, I was in the room talking to them and all that stuff. I was like, oh, should I hit him up? So yeah, I was like, should I hit him up? And they were like, yeah, hit him up. And I was like, okay, because you know, I might want to have a little fling in Paris. So I ended up hitting him up and asked him, like, you know, did he want to come over and hang out or whatever? And this is where it gets rated R, boys and girls. So just stay tuned. So anyway, so he comes over. Like, I was just surprised that he came over, and y'all, he was fine. And I wish I could like still remember his face, because like I told y'all, this happened in 2017. So this is some time ago. That's when I graduated college. So like, I know he was fine. Anyway, so when he gets there, I kind of, you know, I was down. I was DTF. I was down. I was down for it. And he basically didn't have a condom, so he had to leave and go to the pharmacy, like some type of, yeah, I think they have like pharmacies. He had to go to like a pharmacy to go get one. And yeah, I didn't think he was gonna come back. Like, I was just like, he didn't came all the way over here, he didn't have one. And then, but he did come back, and we had a great little time. We had a great little time. And then afterwards, oh God, and I literally took a picture of this, but I am not going to insert you know what, that could be fun. I could insert the picture, but we gonna crop some stuff out. But he literally got up and made some tea, and I'm like, is that not the most European thing I've ever seen in my life? Like, after sex you get up and go get some tea. And that's what he did. So yeah, after that we just kind of laid in the bed for a few, and we were just talking, and I was just kind of getting to know him. And he was saying, I was like, oh, you don't have a girlfriend or anything? He was like, no, I don't have a girlfriend, I have a crush. So I guess he was just saying there's some girl that he likes or whatever. I'm gonna hope that he didn't have a girlfriend, but that's what he told me. And that was basically it. Like, after that, the next morning, I think, or the next afternoon, like, we didn't have much time, so we ended up just packing up our stuff and getting ready to go. So mind you, the guys, they paid for everything, you know what I mean? Like, and so when we were charging room service, we were charging the room service to the room, but that was something that we were gonna pay for. So anyway, we got our bills back. Well, you know, he got the bill back, and she was just saying like, oh, like the girl who took us, oh, he's not comfortable paying us. I was like, well, nobody asked him to pay it. He doesn't have to pay it. Like, we knew what we had to pay or whatever. But it was just like a lot of like extra charges, and we had to like give extra money. And then on top of that, she was like, well, we gotta pay for the breakfast. And I was like, well, why did you order us the breakfast if we had to pay for it? Like, why didn't you tell us we had to pay for it? But of course we didn't really pay nothing for the whole trip, so we didn't have no problem giving her, you know, some of the money or whatever to take care of the bill. But that's why I was like, keep it in the back of your mind. So I was like, that was just extra. Like, the whole process was extra, because it was like, she was like kind of making it seem like we were trying to get over on him or something. I'm like, girl, he's done more than enough. We're perfectly fine with taking care of what we spent, you know what I mean? Certain things, like I said, we didn't know what those certain charges were and all that. It was messy. But after that, we ended up getting ready, and we left the hotel or whatever. We ended up going to the airport. So me and my best friend were on the same flight, and her and the other girl were on a different flight. I don't know why in that time of year everything was kind of getting delayed, and I think our flight was slightly delayed, but their flight, which I don't know why we didn't all go on a flight together, I don't know if it was booked or something, but their flight literally got delayed 24 hours. Or the night. No, I don't think it was 24 hours. Like, the night. In fucking London. And fucking Air France puts them in a hotel for free in London. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, why couldn't that have been our plane? Like, I would have loved to spend the night in London. Like, it looked like they just had the time of their life for that night in London. And I was like so jealous. that just really makes me want to go this summer. But yeah, so that was basically it, guys. I told you that, you know, the reason I wasn't as scared about Dubai, because I feel like what happened on that trip was not scary. Like, after that thing happened with those guys, yeah, they were still maybe slightly trying it. Like, the guy, he tried to talk to me, I think, when I came downstairs. I was like, no, I'm good. And then that was like it wasn't like no scary shit. Like, we just all had like a good time. We all had a good time while we were out there. So, you know, that's why I wasn't scared about Dubai, because I knew when I had friends when I was in Paris, it was fine. So yeah, guys, that was basically it, or whatever. So I hope you enjoyed this story time. This is more of a quick one, because like I said, we were only there for 3 days, but that is how I got to go to Paris for free $99. $1,300 ticket. I didn't have to pay a dime for it. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this story time, and if you want more story times, feel free to comment that below, or just give me a thumbs up so I can know. Thanks, guys. Bye.